Now lately, there's been a lot of hype in terms of pros running their levers really inwards. So today, I thought we'd take a look and see, does it actually make a difference for a normal guy like you and me? Let's take a look. So we'll do a couple runs today. We're gonna do runs on flats and also on climbs just to see how it feels like and what the time differences are. For each run, we're gonna do two different power levels. So one at 210 watts, that's around 3 watts per kilo, and then at 280 watts, which is around 4 kilos. For today's experiment, running my trusty SL6. As you can see here, I've taken off the bar tape and given it a good clean. I'll show you some pictures here how disgusting it was actually right under the hood with all the salt and sediment and all of that. So just a side note for those who maintain their own bikes, clean them hoods. Alright, so we just did the first run, switched it up a little, fix those hoods into the inward position, and go for that next run. Alright, so we've switched the levers to be inwards, so nothing too aggressive, because after all, this is going to be the first time for me to ever run in this position. So, I mean, safety first, and we'll see how it goes. Just jumping on the bike right away. It feels so strange. I mean, really, my bars just literally went from 40 centimeters to, I don't know, 36. Can't say I like the feel of it, but who knows? Might get used to it soon, but it just feels so weird. I mean, obviously, because my arms are so much narrower, of course it feels more narrow, but this is definitely not a position you can just slap on and go. We are approaching the steep part. Again, I'll ride out of the saddle, see how that feels. It's gonna be weird. Okay, here we go. Oh, bars are so narrow. I used to be able to kind of leverage my wider build and really use my arms and shoulders to help with a side-to-side motion and transfer that to power up the climb. So, you know, sure, I'll be doing 210 watts, but maybe my legs will be doing less, and the bigger part of it will be from my upper body putting in that power. But now it feels like I can't really leverage that. Now to the downhill. Feels fast though, but a little sketch because you have that much less leverage on your bars.
Alright, so we're back at the comfort of our home and ready to look at the results. But before that, just a word of caution and some comments on fit. So again, I'm not a bike fighter of any sort right now, and so if you do choose to adopt this inverted hood position, please do so at your own risk, and also, maybe even better yet, consult your own personal bike fitter and see what they say and if it's the right thing for you. For me personally, how I felt was that there was actually a lot of pressure normally with the straight hoods on the center of my palm, and I did do a bike fit on that, so it feels very comfortable right here. With the hoods more inwards, there's definitely more pressure towards the outer side of the palm right here. So I wouldn't say it's got uncomfortable, but it definitely got some, getting used to. Right here, I felt a lot of tension in the inside of my arms just to hold that position. It might have to do with my shoulder width because it is quite wide, and with a 42 centimeter bar, it actually fits quite well for me, or at least I'm used to it. And I think looking at the mirror when I ride indoors, it's my arms are already pretty much like this word already, narrower than my shoulders. So for me, tilting the hoods inwards actually made it even more extreme and went like this. So in a way, my elbows did kind of like flare out, and I had to really consciously kind of push it inwards to get that aero feel. So maybe that's what caused the insides to really have extra tension. And one last thing to note on the fit is actually the brake levers. So if you're riding on the hoods, it's not really going to make much of a difference to the reach to your brake levers. However, if you're in the drops, compared to a straight position, it's actually going to be further away from your fingers, just because you have to kind of reach a little bit around in order to get to the brake levers. So I have my Strava open right now. I'm looking at the results from the segments. And in last position, kind of obviously, is the straight hoods low power position. But I mean, it's a huge difference compared to having low power inverted hoods in terms of time, because I did have some traffic, unfortunately. So you can see right here, it's like about a 20-second difference. And I think it's kind of hard to say. Plus, if you look at the power wise too, that was my first run, and so the power is a lot choppier and also lower than what I aimed for. So kind of inconclusive. And surprisingly, the straight hoods position actually beat out the inverted. I think it's better if we look into a little more detail as to why that's the case. So right now I have the results top and bottom with the straight and also inverted hoods, looking at speed, power, and also heart rate. Looking at this, I think from the uphill wise, it's a little faster with it being straight, and that confirms how I felt while on the road, where I have better leverage, so that's not entirely too surprising. I think what's surprising is on the downhill section, as you can see here, I didn't actually pedal, and I thought that would make it a little more fair of a comparison, having it, no pedal, just freewheeling all the way down the hill with the different positions. Surprisingly, the inverted one has a much choppier speed, so it's like going fast and then a little slower and then a lot faster and then a lot slower compared to the straight. And unfortunately, I think this is due to simply the fact of wind. In a sense, this confirms nonetheless that, on the downhill section, inverted is actually quicker. So here you have it, guys. Quick and dirty test of inverted hoods and whether you go faster. Conclusion is you can go faster. It does make you a little bit more aero. However, you may lose out on climbs where you can actually leverage the levers to give you that little bit of extra power going uphill. So go out there, give it a shot. Let us know in the comments whether this works well for you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Thanks. See you again soon. Bye.